Assalamualaikum, everyone. Uh, I am enlightened to welcome and announce our first speaker for this webinar. We have Dr. Muthmaina. Dr. Muthmaina is a lecturer at the Universitas Al Asyariya Mandar in West Sulawesi, Indonesia. She also serves as the adjunct professor in the Department of Education at Manipal Global Next University, Malaysia. She's an accomplished educator and researcher with interest in English education, second language acquisition, and pedagogy, media and technology teaching, and cybergogy. Dr. Muthmaina has also an extensive record of publications in international journals and books focusing on AI driven teaching models, metaverse, ecosystems, and the integration of sustainable development goals in education. In addition to her academic work, she serves as a session chair for the International Conference on Data Analytics and Management, or ICDAM, in 2024. She's also an editor, reviewer, and a committee member of various international academic boards and conferences. Let us all warmly welcome Dr. Muthmaina. Welcome, Doctor. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat siang. Good afternoon, everyone. Mabuhay. Okay. First of all, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillah, I'm really happy to meet you all of you here in this forum. This is my first time to joining you in virtually a collaboration with my university, but we are already having ongoing so many projects, so many collaboration, inshallah. I want to say thank you very much to the user principal, academician, the student, and also my dear brother, Sajid Tingilan, for having me and invite me here, for you giving me the opportunity to joining and giving my, let me say this is my research about phenotyping, artificial intelligence, machine translation in multilingual education. So allow me to share my screen. Please make me co-host to sharing my PPT to all of you. One of the project together with Professor Sajid Singilan, we invite him as our keynote speaker to Bali, Indonesia. So welcome, Professor, inshallah. And then this is the first and never stop collaboration between us, inshallah. Can you allow me to share my screen? Hello? Because this is disabled to sharing my PPT to all of you. Yeah, still disabled. So Maya, ma'am, can you allow me to share my screen?
Yes, Doctor. I will coordinate
Yeah.
technical team.
Thank you.
We apologize for the delay po, and we are working on it po, and please just stand by as we work on it. Thank you po.
Okay, while we are waiting, maybe I will introduce a little bit about my topic today that I'm going to share to all of you about the phenotyping, artificial intelligence, machine translation in multilingual education. This is especially for my student in learning English in Indonesia. I don't know in Philippines, but in my university, because we don't have English education, we only have Indonesian language department. So mostly the students already not low motivation to learn English. And then we need to also having so many creativity teaching model, media and the technology to make them interesting and love English language. This is the situation in my university, and of course, this is different with your university, USEP University, because you have English education, English program, study program. So this is a quiet challenge in my university if we want to make them more fluent in English. And then the motivation to learn, this is very low. There are so many challenges, yeah. Not only about the motivation, also the teacher, the educator, they are already don't know um, how to teach, uh, how to training the student by using some of the technology and also some of the, for right now, the trending technology already, artificial intelligence. So that's why we try so many creativity, so many strategy to make them stand by in the class because they don't like English language. Yeah. So in this project, we already setting that about by using artificial intelligence as a machine translation. We have some of tools or platform like Chichibut or maybe ChatGPT that we are already used in the classroom. But before we are talking and discuss how everything this is changed, the multilingual in the class. So let me share one by one the topic to you. The first one may be about the phenotyping. Yeah, I will like to share into you about the concept of the phenotyping, and then this is related about how we are already describing the student behavior when they are having right now to be adapt with the new technology, new habit by using technology in our classroom. And then this is not only about for the student, but also we invite the educator and the teacher also more better to learn and jumping from traditional teaching model into modern teaching model like by the intervention of artificial intelligence. And there are some of the artificial intelligence already with training to our educator and the teacher. But I think this is not enough. The very important this is we have already identify what kind of the student learning style. Like in Indonesia, most of our students, they are visual, yeah? They are visual, auditory, and kinesthetic. And when we are already invite them to joining our class by using YouTube, for example, as one of the content of our material, it will be more help them to imitation the native language, how to pronounce the words of the vocabulary. This is the situation in my student. So digital phenotyping also, we wanna share into you that by using this technology, we already want to all of our students they can improving their personalized learning behavior or student self-direct and self-determined in learning. I think this is also more, we can be highlight that for today, not only about we are mastering so many artificial intelligence platform or the technology, but we need to be also improving our artificial intelligence literacy or the technology literacy because the limitation of this technology already representing to all of us the bias and the fake information already there. So let's see about the artificial intelligence becoming as a machine translation in education. Yeah, in this project, we already invite the teacher for using some of the machine translation like Google Translation, yeah, or they can be used like ChatGPT or DeepL. This is we invite them to do the collaboration to make our classroom more faster to understand the material in our class. So, like you see here that this some of the platform already facilitate multilingual communication. In Indonesia, the very familiar and the famous this is a Google Translation, and also we use Chichi Bot. This is artificial intelligence chat bot. You can open in Google Play Store and Chichi Bot, CC Bot. This is already there, and a CC Boot available with 10 language. This is very wonderful platform because this is free. The student only connecting to the internet, so it already working. This is different with ChatGPT or Gemini or another platform. They are having limit access. So the benefit and the challenge, this is about accessibility and inclusion for language learning that, yeah, you know about the present accuracy and context challenge that already face when we are want to use this or implementation the artificial machine in this project in the class. So this is the example of because my area we are a teacher training, so we are training the teacher here, and the teacher already representing the CC booth in the classroom like you see in this video. We already invite them to joining us to practically use the CC booth in the classroom. Wait me to resend again my PPT because the voice already missing. Sorry. Wait me to resend again. Yeah. This is available. Can you see? Oh, no voice, yeah. See no voice. Wait. Wait me. Sorry for this inconvenience. Allow me to resend again. Yeah. I hope the voice will be listening from your side. Oh my God, I don't know. Yeah, can you hear the voice? Hello? No, nothing.
Dearest Professor, yes, we can hear it.
Oh, you hear? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So in this project that you see here, the student already doing interaction with the CC booth, and you see that they are in bilingual. Yeah, they are use Indonesian and then use English. So this is the student from junior high school. So we introduce to all of the students how to use this technology, and then how this is help the student to learn more better in English class. Yeah.
For me, GG application is good application. I like it because I can practice my English. Thank you, Cici. Thank you, Miss.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First, let me introduce myself. My name is Sarina and I'm from class 8B.
So today, I want to give information about this application. This application is namely Chichi. Chichi is an application that really help my activity, cause Chichi can help with everything, whether it's listen or daily life. Besides that, Chichi can develop my English. If I ask something, Chichi can answer me like this. Chichi, how many planets in universe?
The universe is an incredibly vast place, Arna, and estimating the exact number of planets within it is quite challenging. However, astronomers have made remarkable discoveries beyond our solar system. As of now, they have identified approximately five.
Yeah. This is our project that we are training the teacher, and after that, the teacher already implementing this CC booth in their class. So yeah, there are so many benefits that already supporting by using this AI machine translation in the classroom. And also in my class in the higher education that you see here, even the student having the smartphone and the artificial intelligence, but we already invite them to critically analyzing what is already representing from the artificial intelligence or the machine translation already representing there. So in this situation that you see, we invite the student to working in group because in our concept, in my concept, that the student, even they are learning English, this is not enough. We need to also support the student for the soft skill, like 21st century skill. Like you see here, they are doing collaboration, communication, collaboration, critical thinking, and then doing innovation in the class. So we invite them to having this, and when we are compared with another country like Kuwait, and also this is we have a similar findings about artificial intelligence. So what about in our classroom? Like we see here that we representing multilingual in the class, that you see here why we must be transformation our class from traditional into the namely modern class by using artificial intelligence, for example, because right now we are in the era of the globalization, and then we need to be faster to understanding everything in the short time. And then we need also having that artificial intelligence machine translation with the language gaps, that already there are many challenges when we are doing interaction with the another country, for example. And then we already invite the among students to speak different native language. So, and in the one of the university that already, for example, here that they are already facilitating multilingual collaboration effectively. Like in our class, that even we are invite the student to understanding about the English, but also we invite them to learn another language, for example, like Arabic language. So in the current trend in artificial intelligence machine translation for education, that we see right now about the communication, this is the very important skill that, you know, most of the students having anxiety when they want to do communication or practically use their communication. And then we already invite the student to joining some of the collaboration, like we are invite them to presenting their proposal, their thesis in another country. This is to support them, to make them increase their confidence, and then to be a role model to another student that how this language very important for today, and how this technology really help them to making them already doing practice, non-stop practice at any time and anywhere by using this technology. So let's see about the how this already the history of the machine translation until right now we having namely multilingual model, because we see that this technology already present so many benefit, and then sometimes we also having challenge when we want to presenting this technology in our class. Oh, wait. Okay. Sorry. Wait. This is already. Yeah. Because we have some of the project already by using this machine translation, yeah. And then let's see about the real-time multilingual group. Yeah, we see here that, for example, in some of the university already support by using machine translation. And then you see here that it already representing about the synchronous discussion for the student. And what about the growing of the multilingual artificial intelligence tools, yeah, in the class that you see here that there are three taxonomy that representing here about the teaching interaction and specialized translation and computational linguistic. The computational linguistic, this is also very important when we want to drive in the machine translation capabilities in our classroom. Yep. Right now that we see about the what kind of the phenotyping of artificial intelligence or machine translation. Machine translation already representing like Google Translation, for example, or DeepL, or many platform in the Google Play Store that maybe your student already downloaded. And what about artificial intelligence? This is artificial intelligence like ChatGPT, Gemini, or another language model already representing as a machine translation there. So we need to be also understanding before we are practically use this artificial intelligence or machine translation about the weakness, about the limitation of this technology, because sometimes that we find some the error grammatical over there. This is already also happening in our classroom. So that's why we need to be also invite the student to do correction and analyzing about the content that already sharing by this machine translation in this case. So what about the phenotyping to inform the pedagogy that you know that, and you see here that this strategy already to invite the student to do translation. But I think that the translation, this is not only when we want to having or we want to know about the target language, and then how about we understanding the content of that we want to understand about the text of the material, but we need to be also know and identify the vocabulary. For example, maybe this machine learning already just only representing the common vocabulary. For example, yeah, we will see some of the example how this already technology having some of the mistake, yeah, in the next slide. So tailored strategy, we need to be also invite that you already designing the new teaching model by using this artificial intelligence or machine translation. Reflective learning, yeah, of course, because by student after doing post editing, this is representing not only the artificial intelligence content over there, this is already representing by designing from human intelligence and the artificial intelligence over there. This is when we are in the post editing phase. So student development, yeah, of course, this is they will be having independent language competent. Let me check about this is the example when the student doing translation, yeah, in the class. They are screening the text by using their phone. Then automatically by this phone, the technology will be already representing the language, for example, from English to Indonesian language, and then the student doing editing again, and they will be post in English again. So it need more not only about the use of the technology in the classroom, but also how we are the teacher as a human representing there to do correcting and feedback, direct feedback with the student work. Oh, this is not working. Yeah, sorry. Okay, right now we are talking about the challenge and about the computational linguistic and the challenge in multimodality. We need to be also understanding about the concept of computational linguistic. And this is already when we are use computer, or maybe right now we mention the computer, this is the smartphone, yeah. And let's see about what about right now the challenge that we already having when we want to already invite and use this in our classroom. The first one about accurate machine translation, yeah. This is across the files of linguistic types, and also we need to be having the semantic disambiguity and also cross-linguistic like lexical, visual, or auditory. So that's why by representing this, by using this machine translation, this is already happening. The student also can use voice to text, text to voice. This is the example when we want to having when we want to use this machine translation in our classroom. Yeah, let's see about the real time of computational linguistic in education. Let's see what about the educational translation already representing about the syntactic or the morphological analysis. This is already happening there. And what about the semantic disambiguity? This is already we need to be also having this concept that in the real-time communication, the student understanding all of this, not only just translation the text from English to Indonesian, for example. So this is the contextual and cultural nuance in integration, and sometimes the machine translation doing wrong translation. Yeah, for example, like some of the idiom here, literal translation and actual meaning. Sometimes when we use machine translation or artificial intelligence, translation here already happening that I mentioned before. Sometimes they don't identify the actual meaning uh, about like idiom or a literal translation. So yeah, this is the weakness when we use this machine translation. Yeah. So what about ethical privacy and concern when we use this technology? Of course, about the data, yeah. We about the security. I think that when we want to implementation this strategy in our class, you must be understanding about the ethical and privacy concern, like the bias propagation or bias information will be happening there. So yes, there are some of key limitation when we are use artificial intelligence machine translation in our class. For example, pedagogical accuracy issue of machine translation. Yeah, about the error. Yeah, that I mentioned before. Sometimes they are doing mistake when they are already want to translate the idiom, for example. Subject specific terminology error, yeah, or mistranslation. Academic discourse complexity of that machine translation already fails to capture like complex syntax. And the last about assessment authenticity. Yeah, sometimes they are having high mistake about linguistic. So that's why we need to validation from the teacher when already the student having post editing. But the benefit this study already that the student and the teacher already increased their post editing skill. Post editing skill. This is already very important for the writing. If you want to improve your writing skill, maybe you write the article, for example. Yeah. And the target solution for this key limitation that we need to be developing machine translation model specific for training. Yeah, we need to be training our student and educator and blended human artificial intelligence approach. That's why I mentioned before that human intelligence and artificial intelligence must be doing collaboration, not about we compare between human and between the artificial intelligence. That we understand right now the human with artificial intelligence more power than the human without artificial intelligence. So adaptation of the assessment, yeah, maybe for example by assessment test that we need to invite the student to do the assessment to answer the assessment by critical thinking. So this is also the challenge when we already invite the student to having this machine in our classroom, because when we ask the student to answer the question, they will be directly find the answer because they are use artificial intelligence. So that's why this is the challenge and how we invite them to having critical thinking and to do critically the content or our material over there that I already show my class to all of you. Even the student having the artificial intelligence, but also we invite them to do critically and analyzing together with their friends. Yeah, about right now, what about integration with existing educational technology? Yeah, maybe we have critical gap right now about the standardization. Yeah, like our learning management system, and then maybe like video conference like Zoom right now already having artificial intelligence. We can also managing some of the language over there, yeah, or maybe Microsoft Team and Google Meet. And We see about usability challenge for educator and the student, of course, because when we are talking about the technology, this is related to the namely internet connection or infrastructure and the technical complexities here about how we are facilitating the student with the good infrastructure. Training, we need to be also training the teacher and educator. Maybe for example about our reliance and pedagogical gaps here, that when we are invite the student and they are right now becoming independent on by using this machine learning or this artificial intelligence potential, that we need also invite them to having their motivation to learn. We that I mentioned before in my opening for my presentation, that mostly the student in Indonesia, maybe if we see the PISA ranking, Indonesia is still low in English, that's why because most of about the student, there are low motivation to master this language because of for example, teaching strategy, mostly by grammar. And then we need right now the student not only learning only for grammar, but how they are already helping their understanding and motivation to learn English. This is very important. Experimental insight, let's see here about the comparative study between artificial intelligence machine translation by the human translation quality. Totally, I'm just want to say that human accuracy, this is already, we need to be doing collaboration between human and machine. That we see here that human accuracy, human translator outperform with artificial intelligence in culture and idiomatic accuracy. This is we already want to having that in our the same mindset that artificial intelligence or the machine translation, this is only the tools, only the technology that we can use in our classroom. So what about implementation, the context of artificial intelligence or machine translation as our bilingual tutor, like in Indonesia, they are becoming virtual robot tutor, because most of the students still low. So that's why we are representing by Translanguage. We combine between not only one language, Indonesia and English, but also we use a local language to make them more understanding about the content or our material. So positive outcome, by this participation of multilingual, that already, the student having demonstrate the positive impact of inclusion and participation. The student from diverse linguistic background to engaging and more confident in the classroom. So this is also we identify the student need, like improve the student contextual accuracy and comprehensive between both of the student and tutor. Maybe I will end my presentation about the future strategy, about the pedagogical strategy for the next, about how we use this technology in our classroom. The very important, this is about we are happy matching between our material and our curriculum, educator training or teacher training, this is very important. That's why we are already in having a collaboration with the school. So we training the teacher community, and they will be implementing all of these things to for the student in the class. So this is best practice for Asian context, like recognized linguistic diversity. Just we having for Asian that it will be encompass to hundreds of language requiring tailored approach. So yeah, maybe because like in Indonesia we have so many local language, and then only focus for the international language, only focus for English. And also right now we are already training the student to understand another language like Arabic language or Mandarin language by using this machine translation. So address infrastructure, because about the connectivity, Indonesia, my country, this is very big, the member of population. 50% area in Indonesia, we are in the blank spot, no internet connection. And this is we have so many challenge when we want to practically use this technology in our class or in the school or in the university. Addressing ethical and privacy issue that we need support from government, and also bias mitigation, and then student protection. The data. This is about the data security for the student. So what about we are expanding multilingual education access? Because we having right now democratizing access to quality of education. We need our education more sustainability. And then we want to do having transformation in our education. So that's why, for example, what should we do? What should we do for meta communication tool that we invite you also to training, use some of these machine translation or artificial intelligence translation tools like Google Translate. I think this is very famous and familiar with Indonesian student. I don't know about Baidu Translate. Maybe in Philippines, you are familiar with some of these and we can use like ChatGPT, of course. This is very excellent AI when we want to use as the technology and the tools in our learning. So the future classroom, this is when we are blending between human linguistic. I think that it will be mostly right now adaptive with intelligent about the communication. It will be we understanding more about the cultural context, delivering increasingly personalized translation support. So in our project, that when the student already familiar by using artificial intelligence technology, and then we already invite the student to working by themselves, they are already familiar how to do. After they are screening the text, they are know about the meaning and the translation, and they are doing post editing of the text. This is building your translation skill. This is some of the tips if you want to building your student translation skill. Immerse yourself in the language, practice translation exercise, seek the student feedback. Maybe this is a post editing again after the student practically they are writing their concept, their text, and then post editing, and we do evaluation. Stay updated with the language trend. Maybe the example like the idiom that I already shared to you. Collaborate with native speaker and use translation tools. I think about this one, how do we overcome this challenge? Create glossary. For example, we retrain machine translation and adapt with agile a method. Thank you for having me and listening to me. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mutmaina, for that insightful discussion. Indeed, your lecture reminds us how technology and language continually shape one another in today's multilingual world. Thank you so much, Doctor.
Welcome. Terima kasih.
Now, since language and technology foster connection with people across the globe, we will now proceed to the Open Forum, which is spearheaded by Michael Sam Montesilio, LSS Internal Vice President.
Thank you so much for your attention so far. This is your chance to ask questions, share insights, or raise any points related to the lecture of Dr. Muthmaina. Please use the raise hand feature or type your questions in the chat box below, as we will address them one by one if the time permits. Let us now begin. Okay, Mr. Russell J. Aporbo, you are now recognized. Please turn on your mic.
All right, thank you so much for recognizing me. Good afternoon, Dr. Mutmaina. Can you hear me? Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon.
Okay, good afternoon. Okay, you have mentioned earlier in your lecture that there were so many challenges when it comes to the use of artificial intelligence, this AI machine translation in classroom settings. Since you have mentioned here that the classroom is multilingual and a lot of students speak different languages in the classroom. As we know that language classroom is a melting pot of diverse culture and diverse languages. Now, may I know your insights or your experience when it comes to addressing the challenge of low resource language or indigenous languages in order to address the misrepresentation of cultural and contextual nuances in your classroom in using the AI machine translation?
Okay, should I answer now the question? Yeah. Okay, thank you very much, dear Russell, for your question about how we already overcome the challenge when we use this artificial intelligence. The first one, because the student, like in my class, they are not familiar with the post editing. Yeah, we identify the problem. They are already just getting the translation from English to Indonesia. They are just copy paste this sentence or the text, for example. So in this study, in our project, because this is still ongoing project between my student and my magister student, we already invite them to use this machine translation in the class. We free invite the student. They can be used like Google Translation, because Google Translation, they are familiar by screen training. Yeah? If they want to use like a ChatGPT or Gemini or another artificial intelligence, because artificial intelligence translation, this is different with machine translation. Yeah, so they must be copy the text, photo the text. Yeah, and then they are insert to the ChatGPT. By using Google Translation, they are very easy to use because they just like you see in the video. Yeah, they just screening the text, and automatically they are already translate. But the challenge, this is that I mentioned before. So that's why we invite them to working in group. Because that I mentioned before, in English, in teaching English or in learning English, this is not about our student. We invite them to master the English itself, to master about the grammar and many more. But we invite them to improving the student 21st century skill and artificial intelligence literacy. This is very important for the student in English. So that's why in the classroom, we invite them to working in group that I already shared to you, my videos. We invite the student to working in group. After that, they are already having the text from the Google translation, like from English to Indonesia, yeah. They read and they are doing editing. After that, we invite the student also to make them into English by using the same Google Translation. What we are doing, because Google Translation have limitation about the language, about the grammar. So that's why the feedback from the teacher already, the teacher do evaluation by using Grammarly, for example, and after we getting the correct Grammarly and the teacher also there to do a feedback, the student doing again post editing. So there are some the process when we are already implementation this machine translation, or maybe we use artificial intelligence translation in the class. Not only directly the student getting the meaning from the text, they just copy paste. No, we invite them to do critically, to analyze, and then they are representing their understanding about the text. So after they are doing translation, of course, we invite the student to sharing their interpretation or the reflection about the text. So in English, of course, yeah, because when we are already in this translation class, we invite them also to sharing their understanding about the text by using their English language. So yeah, I think this is my my practically used when we are use this machine translation or artificial intelligence translation in our class. Thank you.
All right, all right. Thank you so much, Dr. Mutmaina. And yeah, same with our case here in the Philippines, because I'm also a language teacher. And basically, if we use Google Translation in our classroom setting, there are so many instances wherein inappropriate translation would be given by the platform itself. And thus, at the end of the day, we teachers should really evaluate and would really ask our
Yeah.
learners to reconsider first the output provided by the platform or by the artificial intelligence, so that we could really counter check if this is suitable to our context. Again, thank you so much for your insights on sharing your practices when it comes to the use of machine translation in the classroom. Thank you once again.
My pleasure. Now we have some.
Thank you for that, Mr. Aporbo and Dr. Musmaina. Let us now call on Nice Tubo. Yes, you are recognized. Please open your cam and unmute your mic.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes,
Yes.
you are Miss Tubo.
So good afternoon, Dr. Masbaina. Thank you so much for your
Hi.
inspiring lecture. We really appreciate it. For my question, with the growing use of AI translation tools in language learning, do you think they help students learn more effectively, or might they actually reduce students' motivation to engage deeply with the language? And
Okay.
I'm really curious to know, how do you see the balance between using AI as support
Yeah.
and becoming too dependent on it in terms of language learning?
Okay. Thank you very much for your question. I think this is a wonderful question also. To answer your question, let me I share my project from the questionnaire, yeah? Because I don't want to sharing to you based on my interpretation, yeah? This is from our project. We already sharing the questionnaire while they are having working with artificial intelligence as machine translation. Right now we have 135 answer from the student. Actually, our target 700. We're still waiting their answer of their response, yeah, from this from the student, yeah. You can see here some of the school already we invite to practically use this artificial intelligence machine translation. Yeah. Yeah, this is to answer your question. The use of translation robot, this is easy to understand English material, most of them, yeah. They totally agree, strongly agree. Only few mention no, only one student, two student, yeah, from 135. I believe human robot, yeah, this is used here bilingual, yeah. Collaboration supports smoother communication, yeah, because you know, in working in the classroom, they are doing critically and analyzing, so that's why this is not only improve the student translation skill or post editing skill, but also the student communication and collaboration among the student. Uh, in this project that you see 80 more than 80% they are totally agree, yeah, because this is strongly agree and agree. The robot, yeah, the robot we mentioned, this is robot or the machine translation reduce misunderstanding caused by a language barrier, yeah, mostly. Yeah, totally that we see here the student feedback right now because we are still waiting. Yeah, most of them totally believe and totally agree and have positive feedback about by using this artificial intelligence in the classroom with our strategy. They are not only copy paste but also doing so many, still having so many activities. They are still discuss with their friends, feedback from the teacher, and after that they doing editing, post editing, and then yeah, I think it will be help them to totally more improving their English because of these activities. Yeah, they are more confident to participating in class by using translation robot or the machine translation. Yeah, it will almost 70% of the student totally agree. Yeah. I feel using translation save time, of course. Yeah. Totally, we have 20 question here related about their confidence. Yeah. But let's see here. Human teacher and robot complement each other effectively in translation tasks. Yeah, the student already having the answer almost. This is almost 90%. Robot reduce anxiety in speak because they are having good material, good topic to discuss with their friend about the analyzing of the text. Of course, this is also improving their speaking with their friends when they are working together. They are doing working in the group to make them more actively to practically use their language. So translation robot help the student to be more learning and rather than worrying about the language. When we see all of the student answer, mostly totally 80%, they are respond very positive. So let's waiting because this is still ongoing project. My project, my target, this is 700 student. Yeah, this is just only the embryo of the student response. Yeah, totally improving their motivation to learn English. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Doctor. It's actually good that there's a positive impact with the use of AI translation tools in terms of their language learning. So thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Tubo and Dr. Busmaina. Let us call on another hand. Yes, Ms. Kyla Nadine Gamir, you are recognized. Please open your cam and unmute your mic.
Good afternoon, Dr. Mutmaina.
Hi.
I enjoyed listening to your discussion. So my question is, what long-term effects might the integration of AI translation and digital phenotyping have on equity and personalized learning and education? Can they make education fairer, more tailored, and more responsive to individual students' needs?
Already all of you mentioned totally the student already have positive feedback about this is tailored, this is improving their personalized learning, because after they having they already follow the activities in the classroom, so they doing by themselves in the at their home, yeah, to making understanding about the material, because the right now the student already some of the school, not some, many, I think many, yeah. In Indonesia, in my district, I'm totally talking about my district here. In my district, some of the school already forbidden the student to working with artificial intelligence. They are forbidden the student to bring the smartphone in the classroom. Unfortunately, this is I totally disagree. Yeah, because for today we must be also training our student how to use this technology, because our student today in the front of us, we must prepare their future career for 5, 10, 50 years, 15 years next. Yeah. This is not only for today. So when they don't know how to learn, how to use this technology to improving their personalized learning, tailor their study, it will be make them more, how to say, they cannot be also doing or practically working in effective and efficient way. So that's why by totally using this technology already, the student feedback we see here, this is already reduce the student anxiety, reduce their stress how to learn English. Yeah. Yesterday also maybe you can see in my Facebook, or if you don't have my Facebook, please follow me. Yeah. Yesterday I already training my student to doing practically their speaking by using Lola artificial intelligence. You can download it in Google Play Store also. Lola already representing human, and then they are totally doing conversation with the student by bilingually English and Indonesia. After that, this application invite the student to speak. So the student press the mic, and they are speak, follow the text, and after that, this machine will be do correction with the student pronunciation. Your pronunciation incorrect, please repeat again until the student learning by doing in the class, and we forget about the time yesterday, because they are totally busy by using the smartphone. They are playing with the smartphone, but totally they are learning. They are very interesting how to solve the problem about the pronunciation by using this application until their score increase into 100. So after that, we invite them again to increase into the next level. So totally the student, after they are understanding how to working with artificial intelligence in the class, they are totally bring this habit into their themselves. They are totally know, oh, right now, if I want to improve in my pronunciation, my speaking, I use Lola. I use Lola application. Or when I want to understanding about the material translation, I use Google Translation or translation or artificial intelligence translation. Or when I want to improve my grammar, I use NDAI. This is the example. So the student, we training them how to solve their problem by themselves, not only totally depend on the teacher, on the book, and on us, for example. Okay, thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for answering my question, Dr. Matmaina.
Welcome. So many questions. Yeah.
Thank you for that, Ms. Gamir and Dr. Musmaina. However, due to time constraints, at let us accommodate just one last question.
Okay. Don't worry, I will be in Philippines next month.
Let's call on Miss Ashley Kate Lerog.
Yes.
Please turn on your microphone and turn on your camera. Thank you.
Hello.
Good afternoon, Dr. Matmaina.
Hey, selamat.
Here's my question po. So, basing on the current AI engines being produced like Google's Gemini or even Microsoft's Copilot, being a holistic and multi-use tool, what strategies would be appropriate in introducing these tools in a classroom with students who have had limited exposure to such programs?
Okay. Yeah, the strategy, yeah, learning by doing, yeah, trial and error. Yeah, for educator, you must also training yourself before you are ready implementation in the class. Like I mentioned before, because I am in the teacher training faculty, so that's why we have project with the teacher in the school. We training them how to use, how to teach, and how they are training their student to use this technology. And then after that, we invite them to implementation in the classroom and doing documentation that you see in my PPT. And also, if you follow me on Facebook, I already all up totally my project over there. So the first one, the strategy, I think you are familiar with TPEC, yeah? TPEC, Technological Pedagogical Content Knowledge, yeah? The very important, this is how we are connecting between our material and the technology that we want to use. For example, today you want to having the student Google translation. You invite the student like we see in the reality in the class. We invite the student to choose whatever they like the artificial intelligence or machine translation. As you know, a student mostly still use I think this is still traditional machine translation because use Google Translation. But this is very practice to the student. Even we have right now ChatGPT, Gemini, or many more, because the practice, they just training by phone and totally this is translate. So that's why they are go back to machine translation, not artificial intelligence translation, because they have time. They photo the text and they are insert to the phone or the laptop and then upload it to ChatGPT. This is text too much time. And then ChatGPT, if you don't have premium or Gemini in premium, or another application in premium, it will be make you having the challenge when with this limitation. But Google Translation don't have limitation. You can do many more again and again. You can practically use many more by using this unlimited benefit from Google Translation. So that's why when we see in the reality, oh my God, we introduce the student by how to use ChatGPT, how to use Gemini, and blah blah blah. Or they are just choose. I think this is traditionally a machine translation. So I think maybe you can also dummy with our project maybe in Philippines, so you can see also about the student behavior. But maybe in Indonesia, behavior different with in Philippines, yeah. But let's see. This is the strategy. Connecting between the material, the technology, this is a very important. So designing the interactional teaching model. Yeah. That's why I mentioned before, we already want to, all of the educator master namely TPEC, Technology Pedagogical Content Knowledge, because this strategy already invite the educator how they are connecting and matching and how they are designing the interactional teaching model, how you are designing step-by-step activities to cover the student competence. So that's why in our project, we not only get the information about the student the student translation skill, but also post-editing skill, the student communication, the student collaboration in the classroom. I think there are many the variable already we see when we are observation the classroom. The student not only improve their translation competent, their post-editing skill also increase, their critical thinking also increase, their collaboration, analytical thinking. I think this is a very good situation before the student only copy paste the text to Indonesian, for example. I think maybe you can try. So the interactional design, this is very important. And after that, the assessment. What kind of the assessment that you choose? Right now, the challenge. We have the challenge right now. If you give the student the test, the assessment, they already quickly understand and get the answer because the artificial intelligence. So that's why after they getting all of the information from artificial intelligence, you invite them to critically, to analyzing, to paraphrasing, to sharing their knowledge, to sharing their ideas by themselves. So I think this will be improving the student communication skill, public speaking, and this is very important for the student in English department. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your insightful response, Dr. Mataina.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Lerog and Dr. Mustaina, and thank you so much for the participants who have raised their questions.
Another question, another participant. Yeah. So many.
No more participants.
Yeah.
And thank you so much, Dr. Musmaina, for answering the questions with your knowledge and expertise. Now let me give the floor back to Mr. Kevin Flores.
Terima kasih.
Thank you so much. Thank you once again, Dr. Mutmaina, and thank you to everyone who participated in our engaging discussion. Now, before we proceed, let us first present the certificate of recognition to our distinguished lecturer in recognition of her invaluable contribution to the 6th Ilmu International Lecture Series. Let me read the citation. University of Southeastern Philippines Certificate of Participation is presented to Dr. Mutmaina of Universitas Al-Azraya Mandar, Indonesia, for sharing her time and expertise as resource speaker on the topic Phenotyping AI Machine Translation in Multilingual Education during 6th Ilmu International Lecture Series on Applied Linguistics, held on October 24, 2025, via Zoom, issued on the 24th day of October 2025, USEP, Davao City, Philippines. Signed by Sajid S. Ingilan, AB English Language Program Head and SPJRD Chief Editor. Once again, thank you very much, Dr. Mutmaina.